Hey guys, okay, so you've got your VM set up, you've got Kali Linux set up, you've got your damn vulnerable web application set up, and now let's take a few minutes to talk about what it is. What kind of vulnerabilities can you expect here? What do they mean for you? What kind of tools you may be getting your hands on to make this happen, right? So, right down here are all of the different type of vulnerabilities. We won't go through all of them, but we will be going through some of them. So brute force, this is pretty straightforward. This is when you try to brute force an application to try to guess the password. The limitation here from a remediation standpoint is you want to have applications locked down to a number of failed attempts before the account gets locked out for a limited time or permanently until somebody unlocks it. So say it's set up at fit 5 failed lockouts, that brute force will only work 5 times or the attempt before it locks you out. If you have a system that doesn't lock out at all, I could sit here and brute force away at that thing all day long. So what you're going to do here is you are going to brute force the password of a web application when you get into it. You're going to be doing some reconnaissance work. You're going to get your hands on Burp Suite to understand how the authentication of the site works. And then you're going to be using THC Hydra or whatever your tool may be to do a brute force attack using the dictionary. So that one is pretty straightforward in the low one, but as you progress up, this one's a lot of fun. Command injection and command execution. So a command execution is where a website application provides the ability to execute system commands. So this section of the damn vulnerability application has a web app that allows you to ping an IP address. A very simple um, web application. I really, really don't want us to get into the to too much detail here, but whenever this does decide that it wants to open up, simply what it does is, hey, you can go here, put in an IP address, and it'll ping it to make sure that it's live, right? And it's you can ping it through your terminal window as well. So I can put an IP address here, and it'll do it. The problem with this page inherently is flawed and vulnerable. So what you can do is you can actually put command codes in there that are going to give you backend database. So you're simply fooling the system into giving you information. The next one is cross-site request forgery. And with this type of attack, you basically write a user session, right? And you figure out what the session ID is. You go in, you replay that session ID, and now you are logged in as that user. File inclusion, it's similar to the file upload attack that you see right below it. The only difference between the two is the file uploading attack uses the uploading function on the target's website, but the file inclusion attack uses this user supplies input. So you're going to be tricking the server into using the same function to actually read the files on the server. File upload, we kind of talked about that. You upload a file here. CAPTCHA is not enabled on this. We can talk about how to do that. SQL injection is basically where you are going to be putting malicious code in a SQL statement to get the page to give you an output, something from the backend database. So over here on the low security level, it's pretty easy. We'll put a code in here. It'll give us information. The blind SQL injection down here is where you're going to be actually using SQL map to do the exploitation. Cross-site scripted or cross-site scripting reflected. So this one is basically you're going to modify the URL in a manner where it'll display the result you want it to display. So say, for example, that in the URL, I want to put in that so-and-so has no idea what they're doing, right? What happens is that'll get captured in the URL. Now, I can capture that URL, send it to so-and-so, and have them or trick them into clicking this URL. And when they do, it'll be like so-and-so doesn't know what the heck they're doing, right? So it's basically you inject a script, but it sits on your client as opposed to on the web server. So that error message will only pop up if the person clicks on it. It's a little harder to exploit as you need this other person to click on it in order for it to be exploited. So we're simply going to take the input box here, put some JavaScript code in there, and that'll tell you or that'll allow you to use cross-site scripting. And then you've got cross-site scripting stored. All right, this is a little bit more complex, a little bit more involved. This is where you actually up your code to sit on the server. Now, your target is not just so-and-so who you're sending this link to, hoping that they're going to click on it. Your target is anyone and everyone that comes to this website. So in this, you're going to have to gain shell access to the server and upload the script. So this one I like a lot as well. So a lot of cool stuff here, guys. I think you need to figure out, work your way through it, figure out what works, what doesn't, and continue building your skill set. But this is a very, very good start, and I wish you the best of luck. So when we come back, this is only the first of the 2 vulnerable items we're going to be putting on your server. The next one is going to be WebGoat. So we'll do the installation on that, and again, we'll talk through what the vulnerabilities are. So we'll talk then. See ya.